Hey guys, Mr. Late to his own funeral here. The video you've all been waiting for is finally here. I've made the sequel to that Dream Stands video from October. Let's go. So before I really get into this video, there's some things I really need to address from last video and some quote-unquote ground rules I need to set for this video. Alright, first thing I need to point out, I've pointed this out with my other commentaries, I'm going to point it out with this one. Please, if you're going to be criticizing me for anything, be constructive with it. If you're here to get mad at me for making my own criticism on a situation, I'm sorry to say, you're just making the situation worse. So, that's really the only thing I had to talk about. Like, just please, be constructive. So, to get us started, why don't I define what a stan really is? Like I said last time, the definition of a stan is a stalker fan who... It's one who has become so obsessed over a celebrity to the point where it dictates their life, and their actions are just as obsessive and disturbing. Think of it like that old overly attached girlfriend meme from like the early 2010s, and just kick that up a notch. And let me make this as clear as possible for everyone here. There is no such fucking thing as a good stan. How can there be a good stalker fan? A quote-unquote good stan is just a normal fan. If you call yourself a stan but you aren't obsessive, you're not a stan, you're just a fan. With a normal fan, it's someone who just enjoys watching a creator and is willing to support them, but they understand how these people are people too, and should not be placed on a pedestal. For example, I enjoy watching Critical and Mudahar. These are real people. I understand that they're real people, and I respect their privacy, and I believe that they are entitled to their privacy, and they should just be treated like normal friggin' people. So, now that I've defined a stan, and what makes them a stan, let's address what's been happening recently with all of this stan problems. Yeah, let's just get into it. Alright, so me being late, this is like 2 weeks old. I'm sorry, I'm late. Many of you are gonna probably be like, well, there's no reason to, it's over. But hey, stop being right. Stop being big brain, okay? So one of Call Me Carson's friends, Josh, addressed a few weeks ago on Twitter how he wants to distance himself from stans because they are obsessive over him and it's making his mental health go down the drain. Unfortunately, his argument went all over the place and started talking about all this random stuff, and many misunderstood from this overall argument that he's attacking all fans and labeling them all as stans, which, with the way I interpret it, I didn't see it that way. I saw it him just attacking people that are obsessive. I agree with Josh. If something has negatively been affecting you and you want to address it, you have the right to. He has the platform to do it, and he has the right to speak against toxicity. Many, of course, swung in on his tweet, because it's Twitter, and it all went to shit. There was some good discussions from various YouTubers, surprisingly, but there were people just attacking him for his character and insulting him, which, according to what I think Cam told me, thanks Cam, it's a fallacy called ad hominem, which is where you attack the person's character instead of their argument. You won't believe this, but even Dream attacked Josh, just calling him an idiot. Josh wasn't even going after Dream. He's just using Dream as an example because Dream's fans are infamous for being labeled as stans. And like I said before, Dream, he has such a large platform, said to Josh, "You're an idiot." And Josh got mad because, why are you attacking me without giving a reason to attack me, just calling me an idiot? That's fallacy. So with that, in my opinion, I think he's just acting immature. Come on, man, like, you're supposed to set an example for your community by attacking someone and being a little immature baby and just saying, "You're an idiot." That's not adding anything. That's just setting an example, and that's not a good example to set. I will say, though, I appreciate, even though there were people who didn't agree with Josh, they were constructive with their criticism. It wasn't like I said, a fallacy, where they're just attacking him for his character. They're being honest, they're giving him proper reasoning as to either A, how he could improve his argument, or B, why his argument is wrong in some cases. It's keeping it as a simple debate, not a fucking war zone. Those who just attacked him and insulted him added nothing, and they made the problem 10 times worse. Alright, so with this whole situation, various YouTubers came along and tried to address this, like Mudahar. As for his approach towards it, he acted very neutral upon it, which is a good way to approach it. He points out that if you stan someone, it's really disgusting and deranged to think of another human being as if they're a god on a pedestal. He continues his argument by pointing out that it's become so much easier thanks to social media to interact with celebrities. So, for example, if I were to respond to, let's say, Call Me Carson on Twitter, and if it's something that he finds funny, he's probably going to get a response, which, if I tried to do the same thing with celebrity 10 years ago, probably wouldn't have happened because social media was in such an early stage. With his video, he points out how that defensive pedestal of just protecting your creator no matter what, that is put on by stans, it's unhealthy, and it's not only unhealthy for the stan, but for the creator, because if you're always telling the creator, hey, good job, you're doing this right, then, and if they make a mistake and you tell them they're doing a good job, they can't grow as a person. They're unable to grow as a person if they aren't corrected on their mistakes, if they're treated like a god. For me personally, if I genuinely make a mistake, I want you to tell me that I'm making a mistake, because then I can grow as a person and I know what to do and what not to do for the future. We're all human, we all make mistakes, but if you defend someone for doing something that is clearly bad, you gotta start thinking for yourself. All I hear from Muda in this video is just straight up facts. If you have a large community, it's your responsibility to tell them that if they do something that is negative, like witch hunting or not accepting constructive criticism, that's wrong. They should accept criticism that's constructive. They should not attack someone for no reason just because the creator told them to. People who enjoy watching others are not stans. People who put others on pedestals and become obsessive and act disturbingly around these creators are stans. Alright, so we know that Dream already reacted to Josh's tweet. He responded, and in my opinion, he didn't handle it in a constructive way, but soon after, he tweeted what he believes to be the definition of a stan. According to Dream, stans are groups of people trying to meet other people with similar interests while expressing this interest through shared morals, love, and creativity. Direct quote. Dream, my guy, that's not a stan. There's nothing wrong with expressing shared interest among others about a topic, because that's what a fan does. I'm tired of having to say this again and again, but a stan is literally a person who places another person on a pedestal and unnecessarily obsesses over them. Whatever your definition of a stan is clearly the opposite of a stalker, so please, just call them a regular fan. Another thing that Dream did about the situation was he made a video about the whole stan situation and how he wants to respond to it. In his video, he talks about how there's layers to stans. In my previous Dream stans video, I addressed how there's multiple types of stans. Mild and psychopathic stans. Mild ones being the ones who are flat out obsessive, and then the psychopathic ones being those who fantasize about getting ass blasted by Dream on a Tuesday afternoon. That's one of the things I wish I could have cleared up better in my other video, but I guess it's better that I explained it here. To Dream, there's a traditional stalker, and then you have those normal stans who are just enthusiastic over Dream's content. Again, this group of people who enjoy his content are not stans. By the way, me editing RJ adds a counter for how many times I've had to say the definition of a stan if you want to play a drinking game. So every time I give the definition, you take a shot. You're probably gonna die. I wholeheartedly agree with Dream. If you enjoy watching someone's content and it makes you happy to watch their content, you have the right to talk about it with other people who also enjoy it. He brings up his sports team example about how he loved a certain player, which applies to me too. I love the Pittsburgh Penguins and the Pittsburgh Steelers and have merchandise for them, and I talk about the Penguins and Steelers with other fans all the time. But there's a line where being a fan ends and you grow obsessive over this creator or player. For example, if I grow obsessive over a sports player to the point where I stop just enjoying them play and want to know everything about them to an unhealthy degree and place them on a pedestal, then I have become a stan. Another thing I can agree with Dream on is how people unnecessarily hate him. There's no reason to hate on someone for no reason, unless you actually have a constructive reasoning to hate them. Like whenever Dream called Josh an idiot with no reason to back it up, that makes you just as guilty as Dream is by just attacking him for no absolute reason. After Dream made some really good points, and I was thinking, wow, I can agree with him on a lot of stuff, he lost me again. He states how we should not label all stans as bad or creepy because some stans are good. His next point that he makes is that some stans are good because they protect him in good ways, like reporting an account that was supposedly revealing his location. It's not like this is common sense to report something that endangers someone's privacy or anything. I assume he meant to also include that normal fans also reported the account, but even stans in their obsessive behavior have and follow common morals such as protecting someone from something that harms them personally, not just criticism of them. It's human instinct to protect others. It's just that obsessive stans lack some values, such as treating Dream himself as a person with emotions too. I feel like the whole root of this problem, now that I'm thinking about it, is the definition of a stan, which when people interpret differently from its original meaning, changes its usage. For example, haters will call someone a stan for enjoying a video, which does not make them a stan and puts the hater in the wrong. But also, by calling yourself a stan when you enjoy someone's content, you aren't a stan, and you should not label yourself as a stan. Again, a stan is an obsessive person who puts a person on a pedestal. If that was confusing, let me just re-simplify it. If you enjoy someone and say how you enjoy it, no one should attack you because you aren't doing anything wrong. But when you are clearly being obsessive towards someone, you have the right to be constructively criticized, not hated, as to why your obsessive beliefs are wrong and should be taken care of, to prevent it from getting worse and to make the whole situation better. Lastly, Dream states how you should let people look up who they want to, which I absolutely agree with, but his statement that you should not generalize stands is false. As Captain Price says,
there's a fine line between right and wrong.
And there is definitely a fine line between being obsessive and being a normal fan. I believe he means don't consider all fans as stans, but again, with his contorted definition of a stan, he thinks that stans are both good and bad, which I've stated to the point where those who are still participating in this drinking game are more than likely getting their stomach pumped. Just confused that people think that you can label a stalker fan as a good fan. That doesn't make any sense. What? Right, so I just put this as the conclusion. Let's just pretend you didn't want to watch this whole video. It's fine, I get it, not everyone has the time to do it. So for the TLDR people, here's a quick rundown. Definition of a stan originally meant to be obsessive and place a celebrity/creator on a pedestal. This has changed over time and has become considered a superfan who enjoys a creator's content. Some YouTubers like Josh want to distance themselves from these stalkers because it's taking a toll on their mental health and it's getting out of hand. Most of the commentary community is talking a lot about this, and according to some, they believe that placing anyone on a pedestal is just wrong on so many levels and needs to be properly addressed by the said creator. Lastly, Dream has addressed his side of the story and how he is getting unnecessary hate, which like stalker fans is horrible, as well as addressing how he perceives the definition of a quote-unquote good stan to be one who enjoys the creator, and how a bad stan is one who stalks the creator. So what's the moral of this story? If you obsess over someone and treat them like a god, please, stop and think about what you're doing, and how wrong it is, and how you can make yourself a better person by stopping and thinking and realizing, hey, stalking's bad. I'm going to stop stalking. Thank you. Now, do you guys agree with me that needed an extra week? Not gonna lie, that teaser I made, that was pretty cool, you can't lie. So, I want to thank you all so very much for waiting and now finally watching. So if you enjoyed, make sure to subscribe and like and comment for more videos soon. Want to constructively criticize me? Go ahead. I want to use this as an opportunity to help others and receive help in return. I want to thank all my friends who helped me perfect this video and helped me do the proofreading on my evidence and scripts. Again, thank you all so very much for watching. I will see you all later. Peace.